Sid's name.
Yeah.
He's laughing. He is the quintessential performance artist. You think you've seen weird, you ain't seen nothing until you've seen him. And without ado, let me introduce my friend and great performer, Sid Yiddish.
Thanks, Robin, for the lovely introduction. Yeah, I'm Sid Yiddish. It is a hot night, but I never noticed it in this costume. So, I'm going to do something a little different tonight than I usually do. I'm actually going to do some poetry tonight, which is, yes, it's kind of weird for me. But, actually, the first thing I want to say is that, well, a couple of things. I've got CDs for sale, and actually the first person who buys Safari Freak Show Adventure, the one I did with my pals, Clean Boys from Denmark, gets a whole canister of peppermint coffee from Trader Joe's. So this is the first poem, and this is actually a cut-up piece based on Celine's Death on Credit. It's by Ethomite Pux, who's I'm working with on an album called Shepherds of the Anus, which will be out at the end of the month. And it's called I Thought of Outside the Villias. I thought of outside the villas, on a bench across the way. The best couldn't even get a radish to grow there. The square was littered with corpses in summer. The heat was killing us. All those dead, I know them all. I expected to find Uncle Arthur all shriveled up and yellow in every way. He bites me, the stinker. By the time I get back to bed, my mother is in the urinal with Monsieur. It's death on the boats. It didn't smell good. Like a she-dog that can't get enough. She hauls off and gives me a couple cracks full in my face. My knees are knocking together. I flapped around like a lobster. I bumped into the closed cupboard. Carcass is rattling, my teeth are chattering. I vomited up everything. I was covered with shit. I'm scared. I feel like yelling, but I can fight back. I'll smash her face. Hell, I was so anemic I could hardly stand up. She yells, it's split. I dig a big finger into her eye. My heart's pounding so hard I shit in my pants. She's up again. She gets away. Blood in her hair. Voices. A crowd comes running. They gallop into the room downstairs. The sweat's dripping off of me. My face is twitching all over. I wouldn't mind jerking off, but I'm too sticky. I'm bleeding. The cocksucker scratched me. I hear my name. Here they come. All the hardware, all the catapults and the steering gear in hell. An invasion, raising hell. Screaming at the top. My stomach heaved. I began to vomit. My asshole was opening and closing. A spasm. I threw up everything I could all over Madame de Devon. She lets out a terrible scream, help! Then she gets a hold of herself. I shit in my pajamas. What a mess. The fair ship is limping. They're pretty brutal. They drag me down the stairs. I saw nothing but cocks and asses. They grunt and groan. The wickedest of the lot is visos. I get a kick. I yell my lungs out. There was no lousier bastard in the whole universe. I got every noise in nature. Fever or not, I always have a buzzing in both ears. I couldn't keep my balance. My head was spinning. I collapsed again. The bastards shook me so hard, I curse and swear. I'm trembling all over. I vomited up everything I've eaten for at least a week. But I'm scared shitless. I drool a little. I can't help it. As we were walking along, Uncle Eduardo, he was jealous of me. Uncle Arthur was up to his ears in debt. Combroom to Grinnell, he had borrowed so much. Muck, it sucks you down, you sink to the bottom. He's skidding, he can't straighten out. Those bitches who do better to run after rats. He's a scattered-brained brute, but good-hearted. He jerked off even more than I did. Arthur, will you listen to me for one moment? He didn't want to hear one word about his troubles. All that grief and anguish affected his heart. The gate of hell in your ear is a little atom of nothing. My thoughts stagger and sprawl. My uncle and I went down to the Rue de Pyramids. He was so sensitive about every little thing that my Nora Maryland was flabbergasted. A poet once told me, nobody wants Uncle Arthur. I was afraid to ask for further details. Ding dong dell, you won't catch me dying like a sucker. Thank you. This is a new poem. It's kind of about the scene that I'm out of at the moment. And it's called At the Stake. She slept her way to the top, climbed on the rungs of the highest ladder, assassinated those who got in her way, and then was given the key to the city. And the city was not hers to have, and yet she had it. Ate it at her leisure, partook in all its pleasure. She wasn't really all that great, but she knew how to manipulate, knew how to connect the dots faster, knew how to say please and yes, master. Didn't give a damn, but knew that money bought friends, that money bought her fame and fortune. Fortitude in the face of belief. She's at the top of the game. The price is so high, but she can afford it. What a relief to learn that crime does not pay unless it's the good old-fashioned American way. Yet phony charm would set off the alarm, and I'll pay big bucks to see her crash when her money runs out. Her store-bought friends see through her guise and return the shoddy merchandise for a full refund. Those she assassinated come back to life and stab her photo with a hunting knife. And those she slept with succumb to disease, and she finds out the hard way. And those ladder rungs she climbed will be sawed in half. No pity, because it's a long way down to the bottom of the shaft. And when she falls, laughter will fill the air, just like that icy stare in that cold autumn evening in the cafe when she got up without ever saying goodbye. And there is sweet vengeance for a woman who chooses to crush a soul upon thinking. And tonight I will be clinking my glass and a toast to her bellyache. Listen to her hissing breath, blowing out like torrid flames, shooting outward and replaces the hiss. Tonight, as the witch is burned at the stake. Thank you. Do you have any James Brown fans in the house? Oh. Okay, well, then Kate, this is for you. This is called Papa's Got a Brand New BodyBag. When James Brown died, he was identified, like so many in the morgue, by toe tag. And now everybody knows Papa's got a brand new body bag. When I heard the news, my disposition became such a drag now that Papa's lying still in his brand new body bag. He went from being the hardest working man in show business to the stiffest man, oh my goodness, in a matter of speaking. The floorboards will no longer be creaking, since the man is permanently sleeping now that Papa's lying still in his brand new body bag. That line around the Apollo Theater snaked around the block for hours, yet before anyone took a look, one could tell that James Brown was a little overcooked, now that Papa's lying still in his brand new body bag. And on display at the Apollo, never did he look so quite hollow. Even his cheeks were beginning to sag, now that Papa's lying still in his brand new body bag. Oh, how the crowds talked about his stage shows, especially when his female fans threw him flowers in their panties. Those women knew how to hurl. But James Brown can't hear them. We know as his lips begin to curl, now that Papa's lying still in his brand new body bag. At the Godfather's funeral, they faded and celebrated a life so full of soul. You could see it in the tears dripping on every face, aisle after aisle after aisle after aisle. But all the while, I wondered if anyone saw the great man's wig slip off from his head, proving that once and for all that Papa was indeed dead and lying still in his brand new body bag. Thank you. This is a cover by my friend Mykel Board, and it's called Beer is Better Than Girls Are. Once there was a girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was good. She was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. No matter how cunning her stunts, with a girl there is that time of the month. Beer stains wash out, beer's not late, it never says no to a date. The label comes off with no fight, it doesn't say headache tonight. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. When you're out with the boys at a bar, a beer will wait in the car. It's never a cause for dismay. When your beer's flat, just toss it away. A beer will always give you good head. It goes down easy in bed. A frigid beer you want to get, you know it still will be wet. Jealousy you never fear when you go grab another beer. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. When you're out with the boys at a bar, beer will wait in the car. It won't be shy or take offense. A beer will let you share it with friends. Handle it, it won't say stop it. You know if you're the first to pop it. Drinking a beer is always fun. No need to ask it if it has come. When all else fails, it's understood. You don't have to wash it before it tastes good. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. When you're out with the boys at a bar, a beer will wait in the car. A beer will wait in the car. Thank you. Good job. This is a piece by another cover by a friend of mine. His name is Sharkie 78, who I'm actually doing a record with in a month. He's covering one of my poems, and I'm covering one of his called Man Titties. But this is one called Fuck Greenland. It's below freezing in August. Drunk from Thursday to Sunday, hanging out at your lame-o disco. 3 people dancing gets boring, probably a sausage party. Go to work with a hangover on Monday morning and repeat the process again. The following Thursday, fuck Greenland, fuck Greenland. Whale watching? No thank you. I think I'll go to Cape Cod instead and save a few bucks. And many hours on the airplane after being frisked a million times by the TSA, so not worth it. Nuke is a frozen piece of dog shit. I have no desire to visit your musk oxen town. Fuck Greenland! Fuck Greenland! Eco-tourist trip to see the glaciers only to get abandoned by the taxi and to die an undignified death in the cold. No way for an American to die. Your heated community swimming pool fucking sucks. I hope there's a ton of diarrhea and piss floating around in it. I watched some of your pathetic TV shows on YouTube and I fell asleep. You think I would really enjoy watching a stupid seal in a walrus puppet show? Fuck Greenland! Fuck Greenland! Falling into a tourist trap on my stuck-up American cruise liner stop. Spend way too much on carved traps and whale meat. I can't speak Greenlandic, so I can't enroll in your university. 3 majors to choose from. Nothing interests me. I'm going to stay home in the overpopulated, overpolluted, uninteresting suburban sprawl of condos and strip malls of Jersey. Hey, wait a second. The new posse is pretty dope. They would suck. If they weren't for Greenland. Thank you. This is a piece from the Safari Freak Show Adventure CD. That sounds right. And it's a poem called 75,000 Miles. In the steam of midnight, walking home from the movie house, I am on the verge of cracking up again, marveling about the quiet asteroid that nearly pummeled our planets to bits. This to wit, which a great scientist missed last week. So dishonorably they wiped their brows and chose not to speak. And you know, it got me to thinking that I want to take my skull and hurl it against a brick wall and watch it shatter into 1 million pieces, and then take whatever is left and put it all back together again with paste and blood and gum and booze and sperm and dirt. See what I can come up with. For you see, this is what depression does to the soul after watching a brilliant blaze burn suddenly cold. And laughing in trouble and smiling as if nothing is amiss will just not wash. Thank you. So last year I was in Denmark on tour for an album that we recorded over Skype with my friends the Clean Boys. And you know, over there they have different words. Words mean different things, different countries. So one of the first words I came across when I was on the plane to Copenhagen was the word Snegelfart. And then when I took the train from Copenhagen to Aarhus, there was a town in the middle, ironically enough, called Middlelfart. And as I went along, as we went along the tour, there I saw words like gin fart and tourist fart, fart control, fart plan, party fart, Himmel-fart, which means resurrection. Fart over there means speed and or control. Oh, and my favorite one was I-fart, which is the elevator. The elevator lift. And so this is a poem about flatulence, and it's called Middlelfart. But trumpet blows into mouthing frenzy of frantic fretting. And tooting terror. Thank you.